exciting music of the past decade has been made by Bjork. Her tunes are rooted in the past, yet advance the entire genre of pop music. They shimmer with sweetness and innocence, and they scare the hell out of you. They're melodically lovely and violently happy. Each time she releases a new CD, it evokes a reaction, so this is what music is going to sound like in a few years. Yet here it is. Ben Ratliff of the New York Times, her sound as a singer, that is to say her personality, phrasing, timbre, accent, the melodic adornment she uses on any and all songs is overwhelming and stubbornly her own. It reduces everything else going on around it to something much less consequential. It is her singing. What else do you need to know? That's rather
I go
overwhelming.
shy. Definitely go shy.
You do go shy, don't you?
Yeah.
Because it's embarrassing to hear such praise? Because you love the music, and you've loved the music, and I mean, it is a definition of you in terms of...
Yeah, I guess when you're as obsessed with music as I am, you kind of tend to kind of lock into the sort of roller coaster ride it is to just the next song, the next song, the next song, the next song, the next song. So you usually don't give yourself time to stop and look back. Maybe sort of a little fear that that it will confuse you or set you off the track or something. So when you hear things like that, it's sort of a point of view that you haven't even dared to even go there. I mean, not only that it's so flattering, but also just to see it from the outside, you know?
Yeah. I mean, do you think of yourself, I mean, do you look at you see yourself just inside the trees, but you don't see the forest at all much?
I don't think it's my role.
Yeah, to do that.
No, I think sometimes when I do each album, I do interviews, and then I sort of get a little bit smitten by the seeing it from the outside, which is maybe a little bit healthy, because it's also bad to get too stuck in your own. But then I just want equally, like really quickly back to the tree, and because it stops you can't work with your with that sort of view. It makes it hard to be in a studio when you have to roll up your sleeves and actually do some proper work. It comes in the way, you know.
Yeah. But so the growth is natural then. I mean, what you put in this album is simply a natural extension of where you were, not because you were building on what you had been. You know, it is.
Yeah, very much so. Like you plant a seed. This album is maybe a result of maybe a seed I planted 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5, and both sometimes collaborations with people I was working with, and or lyrics, and it's just sort of happened to be the place I was at the time, you know.
Yeah. But you planted the seed 20 years ago or 10 years ago, and now you can see it as the flower or the tree or whatever.
I guess so. I it's okay to get a little bit mushy. and
a little bit.
Just a little. And see it, okay, wow, you know. Especially because it's 3 years ago since I started on this album.
Yeah.
So you sort of, but not too much, you know. It can be, it's a dangerous trap if you get too nostalgic, because you can't do new stuff, you know.
Yeah, but the new stuff comes from. Do you know where the new stuff comes from? I mean, does it, or does it just come?
Well, it's on all sort of different levels, I guess. It's part of me is very academic.
Yeah.
So there'll be like the sound collecting process, for example, is very academic, and you sit down and you collect. This is the kind of flavor, and you spend like hours and hours for months, even years, and until you have a library of the sound family you want for the beat. So that is kind of almost like being a librarian, you know?
Mm-hmm. Classifying.
Yeah, and then part of me is like kind of the singer, maybe the opposite of that, you know? Just kind of more a force of that I don't, I should be as know as little about that as possible. Just be ready to document it, ready with a recorder when something happens. So yeah, it's and then sometimes there's fruits here, and then a year later there's fruits there, and you just have to sort of attend it, I guess. Yeah.
What do you like about this album? Define it for me. Tell me about it.
I guess I managed to be truthful about a lot of things. I guess I'm even though I blow my own trumpet, quite proud of that. And I didn't compromise on a lot of things I could have. And
a lot of things you wanted to say.
Yeah, also just because I saw how the sound world of this album should be before I started doing it 3 years ago, and I stuck with it, explaining it to the engineers, explaining it to everybody, and right at the end when it was ready, people that were working with me would say, okay, now I get what you were talking about 3 years ago. So it's sort of yeah, I'm happy with that. But then again, a lot of things happen on this album that nobody could have planned. So
like what?
I guess that's maybe the more adventurous thing is kind of maybe the collaborations. Yeah, because as much as I can be disciplined with myself, I have no interest in controlling the collaborations, because if I would know exactly what I want, I would just do it myself, right? But you get people involved because you want surprises, you know? So
most of all, you want surprises. You want somebody to take what you do and then sort of bounce it off and then create something that's even bigger and better and different and
yeah, like
more powerful.
Yeah, something that you would never ever even have thought of, you know? So these things were quite magical.
Yeah. My sense about you, and reading and knowing a little bit about your music, is that you have always been in love with sound, all kinds of sound.
Yeah.
Not lyrics, sound.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I mean, all kinds of sound.
Yeah, it's just the one most all-embracing, forgiving, understanding thing there is. Just in the full abstraction of it. It doesn't ask any questions. Yeah. And you don't have to explain yourself. And it's the one world where that can cover like all the emotional levels of you. I feel a lot, at least I'm the sort of person that when it comes to say something like language or just communicating on a daily basis, I feel like I'm trying to put an ocean through a straw.
Yeah.
And with music,
because you feel so much, hear so much.
Maybe just because I'm not very good at it, you know. But with music, it doesn't feel like that. And it's not only me making music; it's also listening to other people's music. That it's yeah, it's just like a warm embrace, you know.